So I'm reading Luke verse 6 this morning in preparation for the verse of the day, and I come across healing on the Sabbath in chapter 6 verse 6. Now it happened on another Sabbath also that he entered the synagogue and taught, and he had just healed, or he just talked to the Pharisees about how they were picking grain, and they were attacking him on that because they were picking grain to eat on the Sabbath as they were walking through. He said, "You can't do that, that's work." And they were very legalistic about things. So he entered the synagogue and taught, and a man was there whose right hand was withered. So the scribes and the Pharisees watched him closely, whether he would heal on the Sabbath, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and he said to the man who had the withered hand, "Arise and stand there." And he arose and stood. Then Jesus said to him, "I will ask you one thing." He said to everybody. He said, okay, looks at the crowd and said, "Hey, I'm going to ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do evil, to save a life or destroy?" And when he had looked around at all of them, he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And he did so, and his hand was restored as whole as the other. But they were filled with rage and discussed with one another what they might do to Jesus. And that kind of instilled some anger in me about why would they be against doing something good just because it didn't fit the legalistic part of anything? And it got me thinking, do I do that? Usually if God stirs up a little bit of anger in me about something, I have to do a double check. Is this talking about me in any way, shape, or form? So is that a gut check on me? Do I get legalistic about anything of His Word? Or is it all about doing good for people and helping people in some way? That's what this is the lesson I'm seeing, is always do good. Don't get legalistic about His Word or the words that say certain things. You have to do this, you have to do that. You know, a number of times in the Bible, he shows where God says, "Do this, take a census, it's okay, that's what I want to see. I want to show everybody how powerful I am." And then he says, David takes a census and he punishes him because David's all, let's do a census so that I can see how powerful I am. It's all about the heart condition. It's not about the action. It's about what's behind the action that God's concerned with and everything. So, gut check. How we doing?